Inaugural World Book Day essay it launches at the Wits University later this morning. The theme of World Book Day essay 2014 is Let's Get the Nation Reading, and authors, government representatives, thought leaders as well as celebrities will converge and speak about the impact on which reading books have had on their lives and respective careers. Joining us now to discuss this is SA Reading Foundation chairperson and founder of the event, Tebogo Ditsejo. Tebogo, good morning, welcome.
Good morning. Thank you so much for having me.
Okay, let's talk about your event vis-a-vis the fact that there are other initiatives and there is an International World Book Day. How is yours different and how does it add?
Well, we're just supporting International Book Day, which was announced by UNESCO in 1995. And what we're doing is we're organizing the South African leg with Brand South Africa and the National Youth Development Agency. So we are the South African Reading Foundation. We run at Read a Book SA, which is the most followed reading initiative and book club in Africa. We've got over 29,500 followers. So what we're doing is we're actually bringing South Africans together to celebrate reading, but to also learn from celebrities and business people and captains of industry about how reading books has influenced their lives.
So here's the question. Are we growing the pool of readers, or are we preaching to those that are converted already?
Well, what we are doing is we're not necessarily preaching to those who are converted, because you will know that a large percentage of South African students don't read a single book after they finish studying. And we also understand that it is very important to inculcate a culture of reading within the household. And we're going to be speaking to people who have younger sisters and younger brothers who will now speak about the importance of reading when they go back home. So it is not necessarily preaching to the converted. But I think also what we need to do is we're going to be inviting the media to come and report on the particular event. And we want them to spread the message amongst their readers so that we can also graduate readers from newspapers to books to larger books.
Let's talk about that, because I'll argue that there are prohibitive costs. For example, books are expensive. A brand new author that's hot, you easily pay 300, 400 Rand for a book. Then we've got a growing number of illiterate. And these are people that are highly educated, they just don't want to read. So how do we combat these two problems that are actually real problems?
Well, you see, the issue is that we need to understand the benefits of reading. If we don't appreciate how you're benefiting from reading, you're not going to read. And we're sitting within our society where reading is seen as antisocial, as uncool. Actually, it's seen as an elitist issue. And it is not an elitist practice. It is actually a practice which most people should be entering into, because if we don't have a reading culture in the country, we're going to have a problem with tackling issues such as unemployment, crime, and people not even reaching their full potential in life. Now, when it comes to the cost of books, we need to discuss that, because in countries such as Germany... But
it is a real issue. The cost of books is a real issue.
It's a serious issue. And you know, if you look at countries such as Germany, the VAT is 19%. It's higher than South Africa. But VAT on books is 7%. In South Africa, VAT on books is 14%. In the UK, VAT on books is 0%. But another thing, according to the South African Books Development Council, only 1% of South Africans buy books from bookstores. Now, that means that book publishers are now running low print runs, which escalates the price of books. So more South Africans also need to go out and buy books so that we can reduce the cost of books.
I've got a minute, so there's two questions I want to tackle. First of all, we keep on talking about social media, the impact that social media will have on reading, but that short format, are we not discouraging people from getting into the long form of reading? I mean, newspapers are short format, but we are saying it's better if people read. So I feel that there is a dual message here that doesn't really sync up.
Yes, that's totally true. Social media does impact in terms of the messaging and how you consume information. Now, how we're using social media is that you go and read your book and then tell us in those 140 characters, multiple of 140 characters. How did you feel about that particular book? So you're not going to spend your whole time on social media. We're actually influencing you to get off of social media. Go read that book and come back and use this platform to tell us about the book that you're reading.
The book identity within the reading environment. I've heard this conversation come up so many times that there's not enough African, not enough coloured, not enough Indian writers telling their stories, and therefore there's a disconnect.
That's true. We are seeing an issue when it comes to the output of publication of African literature. And that's a serious problem, because even if you look at the research output of sub-Saharan Africa, it's 0.7% out of the whole world.
Sure.
Now that's a problem.
That's a huge problem.
And we've got more problems in the rest of the world, but we're coming up with less solutions. So we need to see a situation like an example like in Shanghai in China, where high school students write their own stories and they pass them along and they read each other's stories. We need to see those kind of initiatives coming through. But more importantly, we need to see government and the private sector coming together and maybe having a book fund where they will fund local publishers so that they can be able to publish their material, because some local publishers only publish in English and Afrikaans, and that is a problem. And not only is that a problem, but we're seeing that it's, African publishers and Indian and coloured publishers are disenfranchised.
15 seconds. Talk to me about today very quickly. What can we expect?
Well, today you can expect a great lineup. We're starting at 10 o'clock at Wits University. It's going to end at 2 o'clock. It's fully booked, unfortunately, but hopefully if someone booked and didn't come, you'll be able to get your space. So it's going to be great. It's going to be a fun-filled day.
It sounds so much like it's going to be fun. Thank you very much for joining me. That's Tebogo Ditshego, founder of the inaugural World Book Day SA, which is being launched today. It's unfortunately fully booked. The Library Conference Centre starting at 10 a.m. That's at Wits. There's no seats, unfortunately. But I'm sure you can get a hold of Tebogo on Facebook and find out where the other events will be. We take an ad break. We'll be back after this.